Stacking dishes is a 10-minute chore, but just 11 years ago, it would have taken Ed Zine all day.
I still live with it on a daily basis, but it's not as bad as it once was.
The strong family man you see here used to look like this. In the late 1990s, Ed spent 3 years alone in his basement in hell, suffering from obsessive-compulsive disorder, or OCD.
Walking to the bathroom that might have been 5 feet across from downstairs where I used to live, that became a 7.5 to 10-hour trek just to do that.
His mother died from cancer in 1982, and an aunt and uncle followed a few years later. This home video is him coping, trying to control the one life that remained, his own.
Time equals progression. Progression, therefore, equals death. So moving forward in time means you're getting closer to the death process.
There's an interesting study that showed that the thoughts that people with OCD have are exactly the same as the thoughts that the rest of us have.
Dr. Stephen Whiteside from the Mayo Clinic in Minnesota, he says the normal thoughts in Ed's brain grew too severe for him to control, common in OCD patients.
With OCD, that distress becomes so strong or happens so frequently that the symptoms cause a problem and get in the way of life.
What would it take? Maybe a month?
Ed dealt with hoarding, a mental disease where he refused to throw out trash. He also had a thing for numbers, for counting.
I got to 16,384, which is 8 and 8 is 1632, 64, 128, 256, 512,000, 24, 2,048, and so on.
But the quest for total control culminated here. Ed used to move through the house walking the same way backward as he did forward, a maddening life in reverse.
I'd have to step back exactly, perfectly, fluently, flowing the way my arms were held and my hands were held backwards if I were to walk to the bathroom.
Stressful life events are OCD's top risk factor, along with genetics and, amazingly, pregnancy. Complications include depression, anxiety, and inability to leave home, which Ed didn't. He also didn't shower or brush his teeth for 3 years.
What it does is it takes away from your how you feel as a human being inside, your worth, your value.
He was given doses of Zoloft, Luvox, and Zyprexa, as well as psychotherapy called CBT. The only thing that helped cure him was his fear of dishonoring family and friends. So one day, Ed simply faced his fears and left his basement. His doctors had never seen anything like it.
Clarity gives you perspective. Perspective gives you the inner strength to make you much more concentrated on what you want to do.
After, he and his doctors helped write this book for others. Ed got married, had a family.
I understand logically that you can't control things. Control is an illusion.
From the edge of sanity back to reality. Ed still falls back to old habits occasionally, counting and checking. Still, losing control of the need to control was a godsend for him. Ramin Khalili reporting.